Hello there, guys. Welcome back to another live session. Getting somewhat used to these. I'm still rather nervous and have no clue how to open this, so there's that awkwardness that you see in the beginning, like, hi. That's I'll get it. You're probably gonna hear a little bit of booming from the other room. My husband and daughter are watching The Patriot because she's never watched it before, and it had been gotten referenced or something in a previous conversation. So they're watching it. So you're going to hear bombs going off and stuff like that. That's from the movie. So last night we did Trash to Treasure, or Trash Art, and we came up with a few things. We had this little guy that was made, and he is not finished at all. Sam, hi. You're with Lydia? What is going on? We also made this. Again, these are unfinished pieces, so we got to finish them next week sometime. But I wanted to show you some things that I do that are in that Trash to Treasure that I have finished, so that way you kind of know what I'm talking about when we do these kinds of things. This right here is something I recently made. All this is an olive oil bottle. It was a glass bottle. And I took tissue paper and I Mod Podged tissue paper around it. And the reason I did it was because I wanted to not be able to see through it. And then also I wanted to have this like really neat, I don't know if you can see through, the screen is awful. Okay, but it's got like this really neat ridged texture, and that's kind of what I wanted it to have. And I wanted to be able to paint on it and use alcohol inks. I used one of my little resin pieces, and then this is just hot glue. I melted hot glue and made it look like it was dripping. Got a candle. I'm actually going to light this when we do tarot on Friday night, so that way I get this beautiful like melting candle look over it. I'm so excited about this. I can't even tell you. But this is typical of what I do as far as like Trash to Treasure. That's what we end up with. What are we doing tonight? Okay, so I have done this one time before. I was very proud of myself for it. I am going to attempt to do it again. I don't know how this is going to go. I don't know how this is going to go. I am not a person that does well with like thinking spatially. I'm very good at taking something and very chaotically putting something together and it looking okay. But when it comes to taking and making something a pattern and cutting things in exact measurements. Whew, okay, so this is going to be a stretch for me, but I have done this one time before. The little coffin that sits behind me right here that has all of this stuff in it was made out of cardboard. So the idea tonight is that I'm going to make a cardboard shelf. I have these little alcohol inks over here, and I would love to have like a little cardboard shelf sitting right here where my alcohol inks are sitting up and I can actually see the color, because right now I can't see the color. So I'd like to make a shelf that sits right here and does that. So what have I done? I've already kind of outlined a piece of cardboard. All right. Oh, Lydia, what color is she dyeing your hair? Oh. Oh my goodness. I need to know what color she's dyeing your hair. All right. And Erin, yes, math is not. Yay, it's going great. I'm so excited. I need pictures. I'm going to just say I need pictures. All right. So I'm not a math person. So what's probably going to happen, this is what I'm thinking is going to happen. The first time I do this, I'm probably going to try to just wing it and cut it by eye and probably mess up. And you're going to allow me to do this, because what it's going to then show me is, okay, now I need to measure a certain thing. It's all right. It's all learning. So first, I'm going to cut this out. I will tell you this. I'm not a fan of these. I'm not a fan of of straight edges at all. I have cut myself numerous times with a straight edge. So here's to wishing the best. I do know this. I did get this tip from somebody a long time ago. I keep turning this because I'm trying to find a good angle for me to actually get to it. We'll just do it this way. The tip that I got from somebody was to take a metal ruler, because that's what this is. This is a metal ruler. Take a metal ruler, hold it down flat so you get the straight edge. And then when you go to cut it against that edge. So then you get a really sharp edge, supposedly. Let's see. All right. And I obviously, since I am so terrified of straight edges, I didn't push hard enough. I didn't go through hard enough. I know once I get used to using them more often, but man, that first time I cut myself, it was bad enough. I was alone and it freaked me out. And I was like, all right, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not messing with it. I just thought of something. I was doing some leather work. Maybe I should do a live stream on the leather stuff, because I can make a leather, like a little leather pouch pretty quickly. I probably need to be watching what I'm doing and not looking at the chat while I do this. Safety first. Okay, so Aaron, you're saying don't cut it in one go. I should do it in like a couple of passes. Okay, so I was doing it the right way the first time, where I didn't push too hard. Okay, all right. And I'm pushing this. All right. Yeah, when I was doing the leather work, I had my finger, I was using a straight edge, and I had my finger ever so slightly over the ruler. And when I went to cut, I cut the whole tip of my finger. And I was alone in the house. Now I was an adult. It was just like 2 years ago I did this. But it freaked me out. It freaked me out. So I get really paranoid about using straight edges now, and I have a hard time opening up a box because of it. Like, you get a box cutter open and I'm like, I don't know if I want to use this. Yeah, Aaron, I liked a couple of passes, because then I don't feel like I'm out of control with this thing. Thank you for that tip. All right. I'm sweating, y'all. Oh, that was scary. I need a sip of my sweet tea. All right. I know you're wondering if I ever actually cook. I do sometimes. Not the last 2 nights though. Last 2 nights have not been a cooking night. All right. Now here's where the winging it comes from. I know that the tallest ink I have is about 3.5 inches. I'm gonna go with 4. So, I'm going to cut out shelves so that way I have at least 4 inches in between the shelves. But I need to cut the shelves to a certain width and then make a little lip. So I need to cut them to a certain width, and I need to put a little lip in front of them. Now I can make the lip a couple of different ways. I can make the lip with cardboard, which is probably what I'm going to do. But I also have foam clay that I could probably kind of clump up and give it this weird look. I don't know. We'll see what we end up doing. All right. Okay, Chad, you've got LARPing tonight. I think that's what you're saying. I hope everybody, by the way, has had a great day. Right? Today is Wednesday, right? Yeah, today's Wednesday because I have crafting at 8 o'clock. I have a craft group that I do like this on like this, but it's just a bunch of us online, kind of in a Zoom meeting almost. And we just sit there and craft. And it is beautiful, guys. Like, I love it. It's one of my favorite things. All right, this is what I think I'm going to do. All right, I don't know if you can see it. Okay, so I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put this up against, and I'm going to mark it off. And then I'm going to cut it. That's what we're going to do. Step 1, mark and then cut. All right, first wall marked. Let's get that cut off. We'll put this guy right here for a minute. Why is Sam happy to dye your hair at this point? Has she been wanting to do it a different color? Okay. So I was going to tell you guys what happened today in another group. It wasn't a crafting group. It was a teacher group. I put out a help call to other teachers because my seniors aren't like, they're just blah. They're just not motivated to do anything. And it's very sad. And I really just want to help them. And I put out a call to other teachers and I was like, hey guys, like I've got a group of seniors that they're just done. They're like, they've checked out, like checked out. And it's breaking my heart because they show up to my class because they like me. Not because they're interested in anything with school. They show up because they like me, or they know they have to have the seat time. They get marked absent, and so they have to show up. From what they tell me, they don't mind coming to my class. It's, you know, one of the few classes that they think is interesting. However, even though they've been interested, they're just done. They don't want to talk anymore. They don't want to participate. Just give them the work and shut up. That's pretty much where they are. So I asked a group of teachers, I was like, hey, what do I do? How do I help these kids? Because I've done everything that I know to do, like all my bag of tricks, and I'm lost, and it's breaking my heart. Y'all, this teacher came on and made it sound like I'm not helping my kids because I'm not teaching them perseverance. That was what she said, that I should still make them struggle because struggle is good. And I'm not going to deny struggle's not good. Struggle is good to an extent. All right, I'm trying to decide how many inches I want this to be. But struggle's good to an extent, but it's not like they haven't learned how to persevere through struggle. That's my thing, is like all of us have had to learn how to persevere through struggle the last year. Why should my class be the thing that they have to struggle with too? They've struggled with enough stuff. Why is my class the one thing they have to struggle with as well? I don't know. I don't get it. It's not something that I'm okay with. So I don't know, guys. I guess my heart's way too big sometimes. What do you think? Do you think that I should let my kids struggle? Or should I come up with something that they're excited about again? I don't know. I'm thinking of doing something that they can get excited about, but at this point, I don't know what that is. I don't know what to do. I just want to do something, but I don't know what to do. All right. While I pause that conversation, what am I doing right now? What I'm doing right now is I decided I want the walls about 3.5 inches high. So I marked off 3.5 inches. This was the side, and since both of these sides are theoretically the same length, because I've supposedly cut them the same length. Theoretically, they're the same length. So I should be able to take this one that I had already cut and get both sides out of this one. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to get the sides of this right here out of this one. And then if I have enough, I will try to get the top piece and the bottom piece out of this. So I'm trying to use as little cardboard as possible, if that makes any sense. Like I'm using 2 pieces right now. I used 1 piece for this. Where did I get these? This is actually from the bottom of yearbook boxes. I'm the yearbook sponsor, and every year when we would sell yearbooks, I actually grab these because these are at the bottom so that the boxes don't bow. These would get thrown out or recycled anyways, so I take them home and we make stuff out of them, and we use them for all kinds of things. So that's what this is from. But you can take a box and cut it up just the same as what I'm doing. And if I can figure this out, I know you guys can. I know you guys can. You know, Aaron, I want to believe that my class is a safe spot. That's what I try to create. And you know that. I mean, you've been out of high school for a while. When you were in high school, I was still a pilot sub. But to be honest, I'm not much different than what I was as a sub as I am as a teacher. It's still that, like, can we just get along kind of thing. All right, let's cut this without cutting myself. Cut this without cutting myself. All right. But we've been, for those classes, we've been reading Trevor Noah's Born a Crime. And I had read it once, loved it. I love Trevor Noah. I think he's funny. It's interesting because they do, for the most part, when we're listening to the book, because I have the text for them up on the screen so that they can read along. And then Trevor Noah actually reads it on Audible. So I have the book on Audible and we listen to it together. And it's funny to hear him tell the stories. But I forgot there was some language in it. I was like, But it's appropriate. Like the way he uses it, it's appropriate. I love that about Trevor Noah, is that he uses language in a way that emphasizes the meaning of what he's saying and not detracts from it. I know that makes no sense to you because you guys aren't English teachers, and I went full-fledged English teacher geek mode on my AP kids. It was awful, y'all. It was really awful. We were studying Amanda Gorman's The Hill We Climb and her Super Bowl poem, and then I brought out, wait for it, y'all know, I brought out Neil Gaiman poetry. It was done, y'all. We were talking about metaphors and alliteration and Amanda Gorman's use of alliteration and Neil Gaiman's use of metaphor and imagery, and just and it was awful. I went full geek mode on them. Y'all, it did good. All right. Let's see if I can get it for you. All right. We got it. Now I just got to do the top and the 2 sides. All right. So we got some of the pieces. SpongeBob quote sentence enhancers. SpongeBob quote sentence enhancers. What is that? I need to know. Like, what is that? Because they would be about that life. I'm thinking of putting them on something called Serial Podcast with like what I'm doing with my 10th graders. They have the true crime podcast that they're doing. I'm thinking I might do something like that with my seniors. They might enjoy that. Something along that same vein. Even though we're supposed to be doing fictional work. All right. What did I do wrong? Okay, there it is. I was like, wait, what did I do wrong? It wouldn't stay. Okay, and that one won't fit. That one definitely won't fit. So we have to do another one of these. All right. So that means I need to get out another piece of cardboard, but this is a half piece that I had used. So right now we are on 2.5 pieces of cardboard. Hopefully, I won't need much more. So let's see. I also kind of want to see do I want to use this for, will I be able to get to, I might be able to use this for the sides. Let's try to use this for the sides. Let me put 3.5 inches out. 3. It's a magical. Nobody knows that song. I'm gonna feel very old. I know nobody knows this song. There is a Blind Melon song called 3. It's the magic number. And it was like Blind Melon wrote a song for Sesame Street. I am not kidding you. It is magical. It is magical. But nobody knows it. Oh, okay. Now I remember that one. Aaron, I remember that SpongeBob episode now that you're talking about it, because every time they'd say something, it was the dolphin noise. I remember that. My kids did enjoy SpongeBob when they were younger. Shoot, I think they still enjoy SpongeBob. I messed up. Okay, guys, let's get it close. Let's get it close. Let's get it close. I was doing it too hard that time, Aaron, and I messed up. A mistake happened because I was doing it too hard the first time. You warned me. You warned me. Okay. All right. There's that piece. I think the funniest thing with SpongeBob was when they went to Sandy's house. Like that, for whatever reason, that was funny when they were like drying up. I am not a good person, I don't think. Like, why would that be funny to me? Shouldn't be. And when they make their boating instructor, what's her name, Mrs. Puff? I can't remember her name. They drive her absolutely batty. I'm like, I think I understand that. It's just being a teacher. Oh, God. Okay. Don't go too hard. Don't do it. Okay. Nope, it's not done. Oh, no. And I moved the ruler. Please don't mess up. All right. So I see a lot of YouTubers that are doing projects and they're like, they know what they're doing. This is not who I am. I don't know what I'm doing. I have no clue. We're just gonna fly with it though. That's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna go with it and hope for the best. See if that works for me. We'll see. Okay, that's an extra piece. That goes over there. I've got one piece and then we can start gluing. And when we start gluing, then it should come together and I will be able to do the recessed shelves a little bit better. So let's get the last part of this. I'm going to cut this off right there. So that way I have enough. And I do have my hot glue gun on. We are going to be using hot glue. Yes, I realize it is evil, evil stuff. No, I do not care. I say evil, evil stuff because, see, I almost cut myself just then, y'all. I am not playing. I almost cut myself. Okay. Pay attention, Shalisa. All right. I say it's evil stuff because of how much you can get burned from it, especially if you're using high heat glue. I told a story the other night about that, and that was traumatizing when I got burned that time. All right, so here's that, and now, right, okay. With this brain thing, sometimes the other part that's really aggravating is I have kind of almost like the memory of Dory some days. I can think of a number, and the moment all I have to do is divert my attention away from the number for a split second, and I have forgotten the number. So I've gotten to where I write everything down. But just then I was like, ah, which side? What side? Did I do this right? I have messed up so many things up. I've put the remote control in our freezer once. I don't like going against the grain on this. This is not good. Okay. I have forgot to lock my Jeep, forgot to lock the doors. Like, I've done stupid stuff. Luckily, I have my husband who, again, he's amazing. He just looks after me, make sure that I'm not losing it entirely. All right, guys, I'm excited. We're going to see if this works. We're going to see if I got these pieces right. Okay. So the plan is that I am going to take hot glue, put it on the lip here, and then just glue this on. All right. Yes, I know I'm going to have some really ugly things. We will address that as we finish the project. Okay. But right now, this is just the base. This is just the skeleton of it. Then we'll add the muscles, and then we'll add the skin. All right. That was probably a way disturbing way of describing what we're about to do. Oh, Lord. This is what happens when a goth girl tries to craft, y'all. We describe things with gory detail. All right. Hot glue going on. But yeah, I've had some cool discussions with my new students this year. I've got some really cool. Now, those that know me as far as they've had me in class and everything, there's one group of kids that I said I don't want to teach besides middle schoolers. Y'all, if you know me well enough, put in comments, what is the one group of kids I've always said I do not want to teach? See if you can remember what age group. I'm not doing it. Who is it? Waiting to see if somebody answers, because you know this. I know Sam and Lydia knows this. Well, yes, middle school. I don't want to teach middle school. Absolutely not teaching middle school. Aaron's like, I don't remember. Ninth graders. I've always said I don't want to teach ninth graders. They play tag in the hallway. It's like, what's going on? You're in high school. Stop it. Right? I'm the curmudgeon of a teacher. Stop playing in the hallways. Right? So I'm like, ninth graders. But I got a group of ninth graders recently, and they're really kind of cool people. I actually like them. They're funny, and they are really, really participatory. So it's nice. It's kind of a nice distraction from my seniors who have checked out. They're like, nah, fam, I'm good. You go talk to your ninth graders. But they're kind of funny, and they're reading Think Like a Freak by Levitt and Dumpner. And it's interesting because we got to a part where in the book they talk about how gypsies and witches are believed to be real in Romania. And so much so that it's an actual practice business, right? Hold on one moment. I hear my alarm going off again, and I just got burned with awful hot glue. Oh, hot glue. You're an evil, evil thing. Yes. Okay. So we're at the part where it's like they talk about this country where witches and gypsies and fortune tellers actually made a lot of money, and like they are like living in mansions and everything. Well, the lawmakers got involved and said, hey, look, these people can say whatever they want and it doesn't have to be true, and you're going to give them money, and I don't think that's fair. So they made a law that said, if you predict something to somebody and they've given you money for it and your prediction does not come true, you have to refund the money. Oh my goodness, right? This was a big deal. So the witches were like, no, that's not going to happen. And one decided that she was going to curse the mayor of the town. I think the mayor or the police or something. And she like left cat feces on their porch. Crazy stuff. And so my kids are reading this and they're like, Miss, that really happened? I was like, I believe so. Let's check it out. We checked it out, and yeah, it really happened. They're like, that's crazy. I was like, this is why we read, y'all. So that way you'll realize what's around the world. What's going on around the world and what kind of craziness you live in. Oh no, guys. I don't think I measured right. Oh no. I think I'm out, like, let's see. Maybe that's not the right one either. Yeah, for some reason, I thought they were the right ones. Did I put the wrong ones down here? Or these? Nope, that's not the right one. I thought I measured them and they came out fine. Why are they now like significantly shorter? I'm very confused. These are like a good quarter inch shorter than what they need to be. That's odd. I don't think I did that incorrectly. Okay, well, I did it incorrectly, obviously. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to have to do, Erin, is I think I'm going to have to fill it with hot glue. I'm just going to like split the difference on either side and then fill the edges with hot glue, because I'm going to put a skin on anyways. So yeah, Erin, I think you're right. Let's just fill it with hot glue. All right. I see a lot of YouTubers like doing completing crafts and having edited videos of what they've done, and you know, and some of them show their fails and everything. I like watching people try a craft for the first time, and I think that's why this appeals to me, because it's nice to see them try and find where they want to do better next time. Like let's go through the error process, because I learned so much better from mistakes than I do from actually, you know, getting it right the first time. Let me make a couple of mistakes. Let me learn what I need to learn from this. And if I can make a couple of mistakes, then I've learned to improve my technique somewhere. Technique, Squidward, technique. You know, it's just, you learn so much more by allowing yourself to just make that mistake. Why not? Why do we have to be perfect? Why do we always think we have to be perfect? We don't. People make mistakes, and that's how we learn, from mistakes. So, bleh. That's how I feel. That's how I feel right now. And that's how I've learned almost everything in life, is making glorious, absolute, epic mistakes. And am I going to make glorious, epic mistakes in the future? Yes, absolutely. Is some of those mistakes going to hurt? Absolutely. Stick your finger in hot glue, find out. That was a mistake. So, yeah. They're going to hurt. They're not going to feel good all the time. But, oh, that was nice. See, because of the mistakes I've made by putting this on, I just figured out an easier way to do this. And it came out pretty well. So that's where we are in that one. Aaron, I know I taught you in 9th grade. But you know what? You weren't a typical 9th grader. The rest of your crew, they were special to me. They were interesting people. They got on my nerves, Aaron. Most 9th graders get on my nerves. Most 9th graders get on my nerves, but I don't know if that's because, like, I want to say, was it Sam, Lydia, was it last year or the year before that we had the 9th graders tear down the door next door to us? It was one year that I didn't have the 9th grade class. Another teacher had a 9th grade class, and that 9th grade class was so bad. Like, I never, ever, ever try to call kids bad. Like, I just don't, because y'all are just going to do what you're going to do. But these kids were bad. They would come in and out of the classroom whenever they felt like it. And one time, I guess, he wouldn't let them in or something. I don't know what the deal was. But the kids got mad inside that classroom. And so the big doors to the actual, like, classroom, the kid took the door off the hinge, like broke the mechanism at the top of the door. It was, what? I was like, these kids, I don't know what's going on with them, but these kids, yeah. I think it was last year. Yeah, last year. Oh my God, it's crazy. It was crazy. That was a crazy year. I was like, oh man. Oh man. Was it last year? Is it your senior year? Maybe it was your senior year. I do miss Sam and Lydia. I miss all of you guys. You know, the other two as well. I'm not going to say their names because they're not on here. And I know one of them is a pretty private person, so I'm not going to say their name. But I do miss you guys being in my classroom. And, like, Lydia, I miss you coming in and seeing, like, first thing in the morning. I'm going to share this with the world. Lydia was obviously a student of mine. And she was also part of my Coexist team, my Coexist group for school. I had a club in which we kind of talked about and listened to other people's opinions and belief systems, and just basically hung out and was open with ideas. So Lydia would get in the mornings about the same time that I would. And so instead of making her sit outside, because that's cruel and unusual for an introvert, and I wouldn't do that to myself, so I wouldn't do that to her. Not saying that she's an introvert, just saying that in my thought process, everyone is. But I decided to, have her come in, and she would see some mornings that I was just really tired. and she would just go ahead and start making the coffee for me. Like, I didn't have to make my pot of coffee. She would just make the pot of coffee for me and, you know, start turning on everything and helping me out. I can't tell you, I'm not even sure, Lydia, if I've ever told you how much that meant to me. Like, you just made sure that things were okay. Things were going to go okay. They were going to be smooth as we could possibly get them for the day, even if I wasn't feeling well. And I appreciate that, kiddo. I appreciate that a lot. You know? So I miss you guys being in the office. Part of me misses being in the office this year. Part of me is really enjoying being home because with my chronic illness, on days that I would normally have had to call out, I can actually teach from home, which has been nice. I don't have to take so many sick days off. And also, like, if I'm having really bad joint pain or my head hurts real bad, I'm here with my heating pad and my ice packs and everything, so I can still get on screen and teach. But, you know, I've got like my ice pack on my shoulders and stuff like that. So it's been nice to be home teaching. There are parts of campus that I miss, and then there are parts that I don't miss. But okay, so this is kind of, I don't know, this didn't line up like I wanted it to, but that's okay. Like Erin pointed out, we can fill it with hot glue. This is the skeleton. Okay. Skeletons break and we can fix them. Okay. So we've got the basic shape now. Okay. But like you can see, there are pretty big gaps here. There are pretty big gaps. So Lydia. You know what? I agree with that. I think we are a lot alike, Erin. And your mom was one of my favorite people. Yeah. Yeah. No one understands the whole it's a plastic cup thing, and I think it's just a special moment, just a really special moment, and you kind of had to be there in order to completely understand why it is so funny to you and I when that is said. Like, it was just a cool moment. That was back when I was hardcore environmentalist too, man. Like hardcore. I'm still hardcore, but not nearly like I used to be, and that's sad. I should do better. I should do better. But I do some things better than I used to, though. So I'm giving myself that credit, all right? Because this year is not about dragging my self-worth down. This year is about looking at the things that I do right, because there's always going to be things that I do wrong. Always. And if I focus on the negative things that I always do wrong, I'm not going to see the wonderful person that I actually am. I'm not a bad person. Get to know me. I do match energies. So if you didn't like me, if I made you mad, if I acted like a certain way in front of you, I'm probably it is true, because I match energies. So, but I am absolutely not going to degrade myself this year. It did, Erin. It was like right after you left. That's when Green Team started up, and y'all, Green Team was I almost said it. It was the stuff. It was the stuff. I don't know if you talked to her or not. I still have Emily's stencil that she made for the Green Team shirts, our very first Green Team shirts. I have the stencil. Matter of fact, I will pull that out for tomorrow night's live so you guys can see it. But it is the stencil that she made for the shirt, and we actually made like a poster for it. So if you see Emily from back in the day, let her know I still have her artwork and I still love it. Jay would have had one of those shirts. It was the tie-dyed green one with like the tree of life and the roots said green team on it. That was one that Emily did. And we, oh my God, back in the day when we all like, we did our own shirts. We tie-dyed our own shirts. We had the butterfly garden. That was a beautiful, beautiful time. And then my head decided to be stupid, and all of a sudden I couldn't do all those things. He might have. He might have. I know that he had one, though. I remember he made me so mad one time at a Rise the Great Pumpkin. I was so mad at that child. I don't even remember what he did. I just remember how angry I was with him. He was a wild man. But those were the days, man, because I also had there was Jay, there was Dwayne, I had Morellis, and then the year after that is when I had like a really active team. They did beach cleanups and park cleanups and all kinds of stuff. It was crazy. Aaron, don't you talk bad about him. He's a good boy. He's a nice boy. He hears me saying that, he's going to be like, who, me? Oh my gosh. I have so many stories from you guys and just fond memories of each group that I have taught. And when I think of leaving teaching, it's those memories that make me cry. Like, I don't want to lose those type of memories with kids because those are special. Those are fun. Those are things that I hope you remember later on. Like, one of my green team groups, we had a Mad Hatter tea party for our banquet. And they brought out our rain barrels and started dancing on top of the rain barrels. And I have pictures from it. It was funny and it was fun. And it was good times to be had by all. And I miss that this year. I do miss that this year. You guess he's okay. Oh, yeah. I miss that this year. I miss you guys. I do. Look, did you see what I just did? I was like, oh, I leaned my head on my coffin and, you know, my hair almost became attached permanently. Oh, yeah? Do you know which student? Do you remember which one? Blah, 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 blah. You don't remember? All right, here we go. So I've got this. I think I'm going to need to do something here to get this to. All right, we're gonna try. Okay, so this right here is a pretty large gap. I am going to try and squish it together and fill it in with glue. We're gonna see how that goes, and we're gonna hope to Hades that I do not burn myself. But knowing who I am and how clumsy I am, we will burn myself. I should never, like, I shouldn't be allowed around a glue gun. I really shouldn't, y'all. Ah! Okay, all right, I'm good. Ah! Okay, I'm good. Why? Why is this a thing? Okay, so we've got a lot of unfinished projects because this project isn't going to get finished tonight. We got a lot of unfinished projects. So I'm thinking that parts of, I think, maybe 2 nights next week should be finishing up the projects. And we finish up the art, trash to art, and we finish up the coffin here, and we finish up the earrings. What says ye, crowd? What says ye? Oh, yeah, I remember Brianna. I do. Yeah, I remember Brianna. Oh my gosh, hold on. I remember a crazy project one time that didn't go wrong. It wasn't a crazy project. It was a normal project. It just went crazy. I always teach Beowulf, and I love teaching Beowulf. Well, I had one group where I was like, all right, you guys are going to take a scene and you're going to modernize it. You're going to make it the modern version of Beowulf. And you guys can do it through a storyboard or a video or whatever you want to do. Okay. Well, they decided they were going to do a video. So they were a group of boys, and they decided that they were going to do the Grendel and Beowulf fight scene. But instead, they were going to be like, one was going to be a cop and one was going to be like a gang member, right? They had play guns. They were in their street, like they pull up in a car, right? The cop pulls up, the guy playing the cop pulls up in his car, gets out, throws the guy that's supposed to be playing Grendel like on the car. They've got like guns drawn and everything. A neighbor called the cops on them, y'all. A neighbor called the cops on. Cops show up at their door. And I was like, I come back that Monday and the deputy looks at me and he goes, so you getting your kids in trouble? And I was like, what? What are you talking about? What do you mean I'm getting my kids in trouble? And he explains it to me and I was like, no, that didn't happen. That didn't happen. Yep, that happened, y'all. My kids almost got arrested over Beowulf. Oh, if that's not like a winning, like, how cool is your class? I can get you arrested. That's silly. It is so silly. Okay, so I'm filling in this this corner over here. I think that big old gap, I might have actually gotten it. I'm not entirely sure just yet, but we're gonna go and see if I'm gonna do this. Let this kind of cool off and then go revisit the other gap and see what happened there. And what I'm doing with these gaps is I'm kind of layering the glue on either side and then I'm going to go back over it. And the reason I'm laying it on either side is because since there's a big gap, when I put glue in, it's just going straight down and not actually gluing the pieces together. So if I put glue kind of overlaying it, and let it do that hot glue kind of wispy thing, when I come back over it, then it's like a net holding it in. So that's where we are with that. But this is what that big old gap ended up looking like. Not pretty right now. Not pretty. But it is what it is. And I think we've got a good start. We've got a really good start. So next week, we will finish this up. All right. We will put the shelves into it, and then we will put the muscle on it, which will be just kind of the plan, just so you know, is that I am going to seal the cardboard, and then I'm going to Mod Podge some paper over it. Okay. Probably the first layer will be tissue paper, just to give it some stability. And then I will take a decorative paper or either paint on it directly. But when I put the paper on it, it's also going to hide this ugliness right here. So that's where we are. That's what we're going to shoot for next week. All right. So glue waffle. Yes. Yes. I like that term. That's exactly what this is. It is a glue waffle. So next week, we are going to finish this up. Tomorrow, we are going to be working on the Beetlejuice inspired coffin box. I'm actually going to do some sculpting. I've got some polymer clay, and I am going to be sculpting the sandworm that goes on top of the coffin box. I've already got the coffin box painted. I'm just going to do the sandworm and sculpt it out. It's been a while since I've done any sculpting, so learn with me. Until tomorrow, though, guys, be happy, be safe. I love you. Wear a mask, wash your hands, and stay away from people. Okay? All right. Bye, guys. See you tomorrow at 7.